Hello Gemini, this is Joe and I'm going to do your singles reading for July 2020. This is an intuitive reading, and with that it's not going to be for everybody. This isn't going to resonate with everybody, and that's okay because it can't. But there's always another message on another day at some point in the future. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull some cards, and I might work with a few different decks, keep it to about 10 minutes, and we'll see where things go. I'm working with the Light Seers Tarot to start, and if you want to find out how you can win a free copy of this at the end of July, beginning of August for the drawing, just stick around to the end of the video and I'll tell you how to do that. So we're going to see where you're at. This is for singles. You could be casually dating, or maybe slightly committed, maybe non-committal, or you could be totally and completely single. So we're going to have a check-in and see where you're going. So right off the bat, I feel here the Seven of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. To me, it's saying that there's this effort here to do some healing, to try and kind of a period of recovery is kind of how I feel this is coming through to me. A period of trying to get back to yourself. And there seems to me, though, I have this feeling, and perhaps right now or at very beginning of July anyways, there's this bit of a blockage in that. The Eight of Pentacles in reverse, to me this is not about the material, but this is very much about you and your well-being. And I see this as an effort to really bring some closure to some things in maybe a past relationship or several past relationships. This might have been some things that have been kind of the repeating theme over and over for you. And I see this here is coming out as an effort, a very good, strong effort to bring out some healing. But you're really, I feel like, only maybe halfway through this, and you're not completely there yet. So I think July, there is this focus more on healing and well-being than there is on being in a relationship. But I do feel like some of you are really, some of you might be struggling with being alone or feeling a little bit alone, and you might be trying to speed that healing process. And with that, it just might be giving you a little bit of a blockage, so that something needs to be released, and something does need to be released because the Death card comes out here upright. So this is something in July. I think eventually you do get to the point where you're able to release this blockage, and you're able to release some of the things that are holding up your path to healing. And it does look like to me with the Death card coming out, because in this deck it's death and rebirth. With every ending, there's always a new beginning. So that's how I kind of see this for you in July. Gemini, is this effort to bring about healing and to really just get centered, grounded. You might be not only stressed out about some things in your past that have kind of maybe felt like they haven't gone your way, but also current events and world events might be kind of just adding to it for you. There's this feeling of uncertainty for a lot of people are feeling this. The Two of Pentacles in reverse. This is, to me, shows that there's still some decisions and some things that have to be done in July. And even though it does come up as an ending and a new beginning, I think this shows that you may be a little bit indecisive about some of the things in July that are centered around your home, your family, your work, career, or anything else like that. You might also, to me, Two of Pentacles, a message I get because I read these cards intuitively, and the cards are a tool to inspire the message that needs to come forward. And so I feel this Two of Pentacles in reverse, even though you go through some healing and you do put some things down or put some things in the past for good, there's this tendency maybe throughout July where you might get discouraged and feel a little bit hung up, and you might be a little bit tempted, or you might even actually pick up some of what you thought you put to rest. And so there still might be a little bit of struggle in July for you on some of this. But I do feel like, and I'm going to pull cards from another deck, but I do kind of feel that there is a cycle of healing that is completing in July. I do feel like some of you maybe are working with crystals. You might be doing crystal grids, or you're kind of working with certain crystals to specifically maybe moonstone and rose quartz, or you might be doing an actual grid. But I do feel like there might be too much of a dependency on those things, because it isn't necessarily the crystals that do the work. It's setting your intention to bring those things forward. And I think that to be careful not to put too much emphasis on the objects that you're working with, and put more emphasis on your intention. So before I get to the next deck, you have the Ace of Pentacles on the bottom. And so this is a new seed that is planted and that is growing. It's going to take a bit of encouragement to get this to grow. But I do feel like you do have some prospects in... maybe not necessarily in July, but definitely I feel you find enough balance in July that you're in a better place, that you might actually get to be acquainted with somebody, or you might actually be talking with somebody, or you might just feel with the King of Cups up right here that this is you. You just might feel like you're finally ready to take that first step. That first step is the Ace of Pentacles, and that is your progression throughout July, is this completion of some healing, but a tendency to try and sometimes go back a little bit, maybe to backslide a little bit. But I don't think this is a big worry for you this month, because I think you've done the work. I feel like a lot of you, Gemini, have been single for a while, and I think this is the theme that's coming out in a lot of my singles readings lately, is people that are just really okay being by themselves and not having to feel like they need to be with somebody, especially with the way things are right now. It makes finding new connections with people to be a little bit difficult. Some of you might have some people from the past kind of working their way around, and this might simply be because of extra time spent on social media, but you have the Three of Coins. So here, this is like the near future, the cards I'm pulling here. This could be certainly going into August, but the Three of Coins is definitely shows like there's this productivity and this work that you're working towards something. You could be working toward material gain. You could be working on a project or something creative, but this could also just represent working on your overall emotional well-being and wholeness and wellness. So this could be any type of work to me. You also, I have two out and I'm going to take them. You have the Three of Cups. So you definitely have some new connections in July, and these new connections could very much be just with friends, family. But I feel like, to me, this intuitively says that I did say I felt like you might have some people coming back around in your life. There might be some old connections that are kind of resurrected from the past, and you might find that you are drawn to some people of the past because it's this feeling of nostalgia and memories past that were good, that were a good time, and somehow life gets in the way, and these things kind of just dynamics change when it comes to relationships and friendships. But in that somewhere there may be some opportunity for you, and you have the Ace of Wands here to top that off. So to me it feels like it's very driven. It feels like it's something exciting is definitely brewing, definitely toward the end of July, but this might not actually be until you get into August. These time frames, the reading for July, Gemini, is not a template. It's not something that you can say this is exactly when this or that is going to happen. So keep that in mind. And there definitely seems to be some good things coming your way, and we are going to explore that a little bit more, see what else we get for you. And we have, okay, definitely Six of Wands. So you definitely have some some good things coming your way. Whatever is going to transpire late July, I feel definitely late July, it's going to be something that just is uplifting. You start to feel really good. You start to feel more confident. I feel that this is a gain in your confidence, a boost to your confidence, and I think it's directly tied to this healing and having a full grasp on your self-worth, knowing what your self-worth is, and knowing your value, and really just having that new boost of confidence come your way in July, getting over the hump, and getting over some of the energy clogs and energy blockages that may have been holding you back. And again, you have the Chariot on the bottom of the deck, which is awesome. That just definitely says you're moving forward. To me, I feel like the Chariot here, you are moving forward, but to me, this is because of the hard work you've done. This represents kind of something spiritually pulling you forward, because the Chariot is powered by horses, and to me those horses represent, could you be your angels, your guides. It could be a spiritual force in your life that is kind of taking some of the friction away. It's giving you forward momentum, forward movement, and you're able to overcome a lot of things from the past, a lot of hang-ups, a lot of things that kind of have kept you stuck or clogged up. You might be doing some chakra work and trying to really get centered and grounded, and I feel that that's going to be to your benefit. Again, if you're working with crystals, crystal grids, specific crystals, rose quartz and moonstone is kind of what I get coming through, but it could be really anything. So we're going to pull a couple of these, Gemini, and see where you're at, and you know, have a go, see if this lines up with the message that came through with this healing and coming together with some new people very soon. You have clean it up. So I did talk about this healing, and to me this is cleaning up, just as cleaning up things that kind of tell you that you're something you're not, like doubts about yourself, or negative thought patterns, negative thought forms, or anything that has kind of left you just feeling burdened, overwhelmed when it comes to some things of the past. And so I think that's what you're really working on. Again, I talked about the healing and the crystal grids and any meditation that you're doing, anything. It could be just prayer, a lot of prayer, which is good in any case. And I think this is really the theme for you. And we're going to pull one more. Never-ending story. So I think this is a fear of yours, and I think you have a fear of the past repeating. I did mention very early on in the reading that you might be trying to get out of repeating themes in your life, or the same kind of scenario, different people playing out over and over. And I think this represents a fear of yours, and I think this might be part of the blockage that you might be experiencing. Is the fear to move forward is because the past, the fear of the past repeating itself. So Gemini, I'm going to end it here. I'm going to say this is a great reading. I actually really like it. It feels really good. To me, it feels like a lot of progress and a lot of emphasis on, you know, self-improvement. And I feel that this is definitely a good sign for you, a good reading for you. You do have some new connections coming your way in July. So get ready for that, but don't focus on that. Focus on what needs to be kind of cleaned up, or the loose ends that need to be tied up. And just have trust and faith that that process is going to play out. This is the deck I first started working with, the Light Seers Tarot. If you want an opportunity to win a copy of this, all you got to do, if you're a subscriber, is just comment below. Let me know that you're subscribed, and I'll include you in a drawing shortly after the end of July. And if you're not a subscriber, go ahead, subscribe. Let me know that you did, and I'll make sure to include you in that, and I'll make an announcement after a random drawing after the end of July. So I'm going to leave this here and say have a great rest of your day, and thank you for watching.